You're a tall glass of water, and I just love moisture.
Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm not okay. I've fallen, oh no, I've fallen down. My legs no longer work, I need to be carried. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Espoir de Vide, and today I want to play a game that was part of the Monstrous Desires game jam called Carved in Stone. Scattered golden rays forced their way through the congested gray sky, reflecting off of the wide assortment of potion bottles on the back wall. I continued to sweep the floors and watched as the dust and dirt fluttered and glittered in the sunlight. As I swept my way beyond the counter, I caught a glimpse of something shiny in the broken mirror. Something I couldn't bring myself to ignore. Something that I probably shouldn't touch. As I peered closer, I felt my heart turn to stone. What I saw was a singular silver hair. You mean someone in this village is getting old? Reaching tentatively with my fingers, I lifted the single strand to further inspect, hoping that my eyes were failing me, or preferably that I'd gotten some lint in my hair from sweeping the floors. No such luck. It was a cruel twist of fate, a clear sign of my age staring back at me, almost taunting. I closed my eyes, pinching the bridge of my nose, and cursed time itself. Hey, we're gonna look really cool when our hair goes silver white. It's gonna look epic.
Hey, Missy.
A dirty little man grunted, startling me out of my morning session. The sun nearly disappearing. It was the town drunkard. I did what I could to put on my best customer service voice and welcoming smile. What can I do for you today, sir? Twitch, twitch.
You got any more of that, stuff?
Oh, we got the stuff, sir. We got the stuff. But if you want the good stuff, you're gonna have to pay a little extra. His description wasn't especially helpful. I hoped he hadn't mistaken my shop for the liquor store. I'm afraid you'll have to be a touch more specific.
Oh, the blue stuff. Helps settle my stomach.
Oh, I know what tincture you're looking for. Just give me a moment. I turned, inspecting any blue bottles I found on the shelves, eventually finding the exact medicine he was referring to.
How much do I owe you?
That'll be 4 silver pieces.
4 silver pieces? Awfully steep, don't you think?
How much do you respect your stomach, sir? I resisted the urge to roll my eyes. It hadn't been too much other times. Was he trying to purposely be a bother today? Was he that bored? All right, I'll be nice, sir, I'll be nice. For you, 2 silvers, 2 silvers. Don't say I didn't do none for you. That's a favor. I'll be calling back that favor pretty soon, sir. For you, 2 silvers. The man lit up.
What a sweet thing you are. I was someone like you not married yet. The world really has gone to heck. If I was a few years younger...
He never finished his sentence, opting to scan his eyes along my figure instead. I resisted the urge to cringe outwardly. You're too kind.
I'm serious. You have the hips. You'd have at least 10 of my children.
Listen, I might have to
ask for that other 2 silvers back, sir. You keep yapping your mouth. My own wife was only able to have 1. Darn shame. We were never able to make any more. Said it caused her pain or whatever.
This conversation grew more uncomfortable by the second. I'm sure that wasn't the only reason she stopped sleeping with him. The smell alone was horrid. I usually made it a habit to put a perfume balm under my nose when he came in to mask it.
Now that I get a closer look at you, you really are quite pretty. You should smile more. Put your hair down. Maybe some blush. Get out. There's the door. Take your tincture. Get out. Next time it's going to be 6 silvers.
Leave. I didn't know how to respond.
Watch your tongue, lest you have it cut out.
I forgot there was voice acting in this for a second.
The haggard man froze for a moment before swinging in the direction of the voice. I hadn't even heard anyone else come in.
And who the heck do you think you're talking to?
Hey-ya! Hey, my... You're a tall glass of water, and I just love moisture. His voice lost all momentum as his eyes registered the man towering over him in the doorway. I recognized him. He was a regular.
You see this dude on the regular? Why aren't you married?
Though I didn't know his name, I've never had the courage to ask. The man stood, blinking at him stupidly.
You need to leave.
Yeah, what my future husband said.
The room was filled with a sudden chill, accompanied by an ominous aura radiating from the man, one the likes I had never felt before. It sent the drunkard scrambling for the door, nearly tripping over his feet as he did so. The man watched in disgust as he fled.
Cunt.
Sir. Well, I mean, yeah, but...
His dark expression and aura dissolved by the time he met my eyes, sending a chill down my spine, the last remnants of the sudden cold that had come when he threatened the bothersome man. When did it get so drafty in here?
Are you okay?
Yeah, No, I'm not okay. I've fallen, oh no, I've fallen down. My legs no longer work, I need to be carried.
He asked, saving me from thoughts of more potential repairs. Fine. I growled in the direction of where the drunkard had stood just before. You should check on him. He probably cracked his skull against the pavement, I said, gesturing to the doors with my head. He was about to get a broom handle down his throat had you not stepped in when you did. And I would have too. Luckily, I wasn't in any real danger. He could barely stand, yet alone stab me. The striking man bit back a laugh, smiling to himself. I'm thankful you handled it. I can't even speak right. I'm thankful that you handled it for me.
It wasn't an issue, madam.
I lifted my hands as if to ward off the pleasantries. You can just call me Espoir. Ma'am or madam makes me feel old.
Well, I'd hate to make you feel old.
It was too late for that, unfortunately. Gosh darn silver hair in the mirror, it'll be fine.
I'm surprised I never asked for your name before. It's very fitting.
It means hope in French.
If you don't mind me saying so, it's lovely. Just like yourself.
Flattery, huh? He didn't need to compliment me, especially if there was no real truth to it. It felt like he was doing everything possible to ease my nerves. At least it seemed genuine, and was a nice change of pace from the conversation before. I'm fine. It's not the worst of what I've encountered running this place. You're too kind, young man, I retorted good-naturedly.
You can trust me when I say, I'm no boy.
A devilish smirk graced his sharp features, his eyes squinting in amusement. My breath got caught in my throat at the mere sight. His age was evident. He was all man. That much was for sure. We must stay focused. We must stay focused. Sure, he wasn't a fresh youth, but he definitely wasn't old. Mature was a better phrase. Well-aged was better. He looked pristine. Even in 10 years, I imagined he'd still look that way. But men had that luxury to mature, whereas women just expired, apparently. The thought had always sickened me. There were beautifully aged women who wore their white hair like crowns, but I, evidently, wasn't one of those women. My crown was made out of eroding poison. Hey, that's still a pretty cool crown. Women, when we get older, we become witches. We get cool. And your name? He smiled widely.
Carrick.
Cool. Carrick. I tested his name absent-mindedly. He flashed me a toothy smile, watching my lips as I said it.
It certainly sounds better when you say it.
I shook my head, blood rushing to my cheeks. Was there something I could get you?
I'd like to buy whatever that gentleman was going to, as well as my usual. It's the least I can do, since I made you lose some business.
Oh wait, did he not even pay? Oh, that's kind of you, but you don't have to. It's no trouble. His coin is worth nothing to me.
Perhaps mine will have more value?
A cheeky smile graced his features. I nodded, smiling, looking down at my hands on the counter.
Actually, I'm going to browse for a bit. If you could get me those other 2 things, I'd appreciate it.
Okay.
No problem. The rock polish, right? That's what you usually get. Polishing some stones? His eyebrows rose.
You remembered.
I'm in here all day. I remember everybody's orders.
You're good at your job.
I waved off his compliment, as well as him. Luckily, he gave me some time to recover from his overwhelming presence. I'd always found him a fine-looking man, but seeing him so close, watching him speak and smile at me, saying such kind things, it made me feel like a teenager. He's simply gorgeous, almost an ethereal beauty, much like a painting or a statue, carved from stone. Hey, that's almost the title of this game. I wonder who this mysterious gentleman could be. Carrick. He'd been a regular for at least a year. He'd suddenly appeared one day around the time they started building the new cathedral across the way. Maybe he worked in the chantry. He didn't really look the type, but who was I to say? Oddly, though, I don't think I've ever seen him shop during the day. Perhaps his job kept him busy while the sun was up. What kind of job would someone like him have? I suppose I could ask him, though every time I think about talking to him, I get so nervous. He's too enticing. Couldn't be a priest, and why not? Because if so, he'd make many a sinner. Yeah. Maybe he built the cathedral. He certainly had the muscles for it. I wished I had seen him build it, watching his muscles tense, dripped with sweat, glowing in the hot afternoon sun, breathing heavily, drinking water as it dripped down his body. Espoir! You must stay focused. We're at work. I watched as he poked and prodded some of the bottles around the room, practically gliding as he moved. His hair was luxurious, his eyes a deep shade of red, and he had near-perfect skin. He was a marvel. How could someone like him have ever called me lovely? Perhaps he was just being nice. If I was even 10 years younger, I'd have caught his eye. My body was better. No sagging underarms, no bags under my eyes, no gray hairs. If only he could have seen me then. It was a shame. Time was truly a curse, at least when you were a woman. Perhaps it was nice to pretend his words had real meaning. The only men who'd take a fancy to me now were drunkards and the desperate. How long had it been since I'd been with a man? It felt like decades, even if maybe only a couple years had passed. Even so, the relationships were short-lived. I'd always preferred my work, my own company over something so shallow. Perhaps Carrick was beautiful, but beautiful didn't equate to a skillful lover. Perhaps he could be in my late-night fantasies, however. You can't escape my imagination and my other fictional husbands. I ended up sulking so much I hadn't seen Carrick return initially. Oh, hi! His eyebrows knitted together in concern.
I know it isn't my business, but I apologize on behalf of that bastard. I can't stop thinking about it.
Please do not go hunt him down in the street. That's not a joke. Please don't do that. No, please. You don't have to. I really am fine. He didn't look convinced, however. Even I didn't buy it. But I had to be fine. I had to believe it somehow. I couldn't let any of what he said get to me. I couldn't listen to anyone when it came to how I felt about myself. That was a recipe for certain disaster. I suppose he said it quite harshly, but there was truth to what he said. Carrick gave me a dumbfounded look. Maybe he was young, but I didn't think that was that hard of a concept to grasp. I guess I am a good deal older than you. I'm sure one day you'll understand, though. You old whippersnapper. He's probably like 1 year younger than me. Or maybe you never will, because you are drop-dead gorgeous and a man. Women my age, there's a certain set of things we're expected to do, and of those being married and having children are two I have yet to engage in. There's a good chance I won't experience either. He stared at me astonished. I probably should have let it go. I'd argued my stance on this far too many times with far too many people. He wouldn't understand, and I didn't need to explain myself. Even so, I did. I suppose it had come naturally to me at this point. I do realize how strange it is for me to be a woman with her own business. People wonder if I'm depressed or lonely.
And then they question how I'm able to read.
I honestly don't think so. The happiest day of my life was when the shop opened. I was finally able to put my magic to good use and sell potions to help people. I realized only then what I was doing. I'd said my piece. He didn't care. Time to change the subject and pretend that hadn't happened. Oh, your potions. I'm sorry. Let me get that for you.
Wait.
And I did. Like I was being compelled to.
You don't have to do anything.
Now, it was my turn to be confused. I said I'd get you those items. I got distracted. I guess I'm getting tired. The older I get, the earlier I go to bed.
Why do you speak as though you're on death's door?
Because I'm almost 40. Just kidding. I like being over 30. It's really fun. There's nothing wrong with being 40. You're still quite young if you're 40.
The words lost me. I didn't know how to respond. Why did I mean, I guess I'm not elderly, but I'm not the young woman I was when I opened this place. I even have gray hair now, see? Carrick didn't even look. He was still looking at me like I'd smashed his polish into the floor.
Is that why?
Why, what?
Why you've been so down?
My silence must have been his answer.
Look, if I may say so, I think that's complete and utter bullshit.
Thank you. I looked around, feeling uncomfortable once again. Had I upset him? Where did I place that broom?
You don't need to have kids or get married.
Correct.
You run one of the most successful shops in town. You're thoughtful and hardworking. And, if I may be so bold, a fine woman.
Oh, stop. I felt my throat tighten. I had to cough and wipe my nose to be rid of the foaming...
Yeah, these tears are going to be foaming, all right.
To get rid of the forming tears. His words cut deep.
Thank you. It's whatever every older lady wants to hear.
Please, you don't have to say any of this. I'm not one to delude myself. I'm a practical person. You don't need to appeal to my emotions or anything.
Please don't listen to that lowly fool. Or anyone. You must know your worth.
My stomach flipped involuntarily at his tone. His words were so warm. They resonated somewhere deep within me. My tears slipped down my cheek and onto the counter below. I could only touch it, shocked, deeply touched, more than I'd realized. He'd spoken to a part of me that was out of my reach. I moved towards the door, going to lock it, not letting myself stand in place, sobbing in front of a stranger. I could tell by the way the sky looked that it was near closing time. I didn't care if I closed earlier than usual today. Carrick was behind me, preparing to leave. Or at least that's what I thought. My apologies. You can stay if you like. I just wanted to get a start on closing. I don't want anyone else to walk in.
So, it's all right if I stay?
I nodded. Yes, I don't mind. Honestly, it was good to have him there in case that drunkard decided he wanted to come back for round 2. I could take him. I don't even need a broom. I just need... I just need these. I just need these. Let me check you out.
After I'm done checking you out.
We made our way back to the counter. I finally retrieved the rock polish and the blue tonic. Carrick set down a common healing potion. Will this be all? I asked, going through the normal sequence of questioning without thinking. He nodded, just watching me. It'll be 6 silvers. He went to retrieve his pouch and set the silver onto the counter. What is this rock polish for, anyway?
I mean, I guess if you have a statue, you want it to be shiny or something.
Do you work at the cathedral across the way? He looked like he hadn't expected that. He was so taken aback, I almost regretted asking in the first place. Did he think me weird for asking?
You could say that. I spend a lot of time there.
Oh, a holy man, are you? Or you just appreciate the good architecture of the church?
Did you help build it?
No, well, The truth of the matter is that it's complicated.
A mysterious one? Was he involved in some shady business? That would explain the dark aura, and the fact that he was so muscular. Maybe he was a hitman, or involved in underground criminal organizations, or maybe he's a vampire hunter for the church. Maybe he was the devil himself. He certainly had the look for it.
The shop's closed now, right?
I nodded.
Does that mean I can speak to you as a person, rather than a shopkeeper?
You can speak to me in French if you like.
I could only chuckle at that, unsure of what he meant. What is it that you want to say to me that you can't say to a shopkeeper?
At the risk of making you uncomfortable, I feel it's best I be honest with you. Is that okay? If you don't like what I have to say, I'll leave. And I won't bother you any further.
Oh.
If you wish it so, I won't even shop here anymore.
Oh. As he continued, a heaviness formed in my chest. Just what was he wanting to talk about? Was he sent here to kill me? Had I done bad business?
So can I tell you?
Absolutely, Pookums. You can. What do you want to tell me? It seems important. My anxiety only grew as he looked around, looking for a way to say what he was trying to. Was it that bad? The waiting was sure to kill me. Finally he spoke, slow at first.
I lied before.
You mean I'm not pretty?
About? I must have asked with my eyes.
I already knew your name. It is lovely. Just like you.
Oh.
That part was true.
That was it? He lied about not knowing my name? That was certainly strange, but it wasn't anything to make such a fuss about.
The truth is, I know a lot about you. More than you think I do.
Oh no! Wait. Were you stalking me? That stopped me in my tracks.
I've watched you for a while.
What?
Just as you worked.
Because you spend so much time of your because you just I can't read when he's looking at me like that. Because you spend so much of your time at the cathedral? I asked, hoping that was it. Hoping even more that he wouldn't lie about it either.
Yes, precisely. I also have made it a habit to visit here more. To see you.
Why? I asked stupidly.
Because I'm drawn to you. I have been for years.
Years? How many?
3 years. The same amount of time since the cathedral was built.
Why are you telling me this? What do you want? It was a dangerous question, with an answer I don't think I was prepared to hear. Even so, it was better to know. Why? He bit his lip.
Is it not obvious?
He smiled wryly.
Maybe you just want to hear me say it.
I nodded. That wasn't false. I didn't want to misinterpret this. Best I hear it directly from the source.
I'm telling you this because I want you to be mine.
Okay.
And more than that, I want to be yours.
Double okay. What difference was there between being his or being mine? More importantly, had he said what I thought he said just then? Is this a marriage proposal?
It's honestly disheartening to see you so doubtful. Even though I'm telling you this, clear as day. You can't believe it.
I stopped myself. I could only blink as he continued to speak.
Is my longing for you that hard to believe? What happened to break your confidence so?
That silver hair I saw this morning.
I dropped my head. Truthfully, I didn't know. There wasn't a single instance that turned me from a bright-eyed, bold girl into a gray-haired, tentative woman. Perhaps it was the natural order of things. I just grew up.
But I've only known you for 3 years. Are you truly a different woman?
I thought back. No, I wasn't. But with every year, watching the amounts of people who'd come to settle in the village, the refugees flooding the cathedral, I watched women become brides and mothers in the same year. I never really wanted for those things, at least not to the extent others had. I never sought them out, but being looked at differently, being compared to them and how differently my life was to theirs, I felt like I was doing everything in my life all wrong, like my very existence was an outlier, a mistake, something that should have never come to be. Even though this was the life I cried, sweated, and prayed for, I couldn't find joy in it the way I once had, not when I shared it alone. I don't know how to answer that, Carrick. All I know is that I haven't felt comfortable in my own skin for a long time. He watched me with pity. It hurt I disappointed him. But he wasn't alone. I was disappointed in myself. How had I let the opinions of others corrode me so? I'm sorry. The woman you pined for doesn't exist anymore. She may never again. Carrick shook his head. I'm sure he was in denial, as absurd as that was. But what I said was true. I said it before. I'm practical. I might not like it, but that is the way of things. I don't make the rules, I just have to live by them.
Nothing has changed. Your essence, it's the same. It's just dulled.
My essence? What did he mean? I needn't ask. It was written all over my face.
I've noticed that your soul has changed.
Oh.
I've watched it waver like the flame of a long-burning candle. But it isn't too late. It can be remedied.
Really? Do you have some vitamin D for me? Even when all I could think of was how absurd this all was, I still kept bringing myself to inquire further.
I honestly don't know. Maybe it's foolish, but I thought maybe if I told you, you'd be able to find out for yourself.
Don't ask me, I don't know.
You're very intelligent. If you don't know now, you will. But that is the main thing I wanted to tell you.
I feel like saying, gee, thanks.
I know it's hard, but your core, the main part of your soul, is still there. It's just being dimmed. You have to find the spark to ignite it again. It may feel hopeless now, but it's not permanent. You just have to be patient with yourself and make peace with the changing of the seasons.
So I was getting lost in his voice. That made it click. Even when I lacked all the critical information, the intricacies behind the words he spoke, I still managed to feel relief. The weight in my chest lifted ever so slightly. Maybe it was hard to believe he could see my soul. Perhaps it was figurative, but there was truth to it. I'd been so upset by such minor things because it added to a truth about myself that I was starting to believe, adhering to a reality that wasn't my own. This time, no tears fell, but I felt a deep ache in my body. My nerves were on fire. An involuntary smile snuck its way onto my face.
There she is.
He said, almost a whisper, matching my own smile. He looked at me like I'd come down from the celestial realm.
I suppose my work here is done.
Hot guy giving you a pep speech, a pep talk. Yeah, I guess that would help a lot.
You're remarkable. You struggle so much, mostly alone. And yet you don't let it harden you.
All right, you're speaking a little bit too close to home there, Carrick.
You're still as fiery, as passionate about your work, and your effect on the people around you, as I imagine you always had.
Carrick, stop talking to me in the real world. You need to stop that. You need to stop hitting so close to home.
You truly inspire me.
Carrick, why are you being so kind? It hurts.
You need to hear it. And if you're still willing to listen, I could tell you more. Remind you of what you've forgotten.
Sir, if you tell me any more, if you continue this conversation, you're going to end up pregnant. I could only nod, still not understanding, but willing to listen. I took a seat onto the counter, resting my aching feet and ankles. He watched me all the way, moving his hand closer once I was sat, but not quite touching. I could tell he debated touching me, like I'd burn him if he did. Filled with a newfound boldness, I set my hand on his. He looked at me surprised, but didn't address it, following through with what he was going to say instead. I listened intently.
I was drawn to you from the moment I saw you. Of course, it wasn't love like in the poems, but rather fascination. Like the answer to a question that plagues the masses. You were my unanswered question. And so I watched, and learned much about you. And watching you is easy, of course. You're an enchanting woman.
Can you not feel the soul of others? Is it just mine? I decided to ask, almost humoring him. I couldn't say I believed in it, but I wanted to hear what he'd say.
I can feel others, anyone who I choose to. That drunkard was almost tainted and rotten.
I don't know if I can believe that. He just seems sad. I don't think he's broken or anything, just in a bad place. Misguided.
That's a wonderful trait of yours. And you're not wrong. He can change. But it means he'd have to want to change. And so many don't.
Yeah, he seems pretty set in his ways.
Even after the horrible things he said to you, you show him so much courtesy and respect.
I probably should have charged him those extra 2 silvers anyway. I shrugged, of all things. I suppose it was just my nature. I didn't like the bastard, it was true, but that didn't mean he was cursed.
We all see our ugliest sides, and we let them become who we are, instead of fighting against them.
I felt guilty, as clearly I too was susceptible to it. What's your ugly side, Carrick? He paused, chewing over his response for a moment.
I'm obsessed.
Obsessed? With? But I already knew the answer.
With a question. Would you give me the time of day?
That was the question? Would I give him the time of day? Oh yeah, sure, it's about 3:30. I can't say. I don't know what that would entail for me, for us.
Only as much as you were willing to give.
I just know so little. What I do know is good, but it makes me worried there's plenty you're hiding, and I don't know if I'd like the ugly side of you.
I believe I could help remedy that.
How so? I always figured those were the kinds of things you experienced over time.
Now, before I do what I'm about to, I need you to promise me that you'll try to stay calm.
I am the epitome of calmity. I thought for a moment, contemplating once again if I wanted to know. And ultimately, I'd felt like we'd come this far. I wanted to give him a chance. I promise I'll try. Holy! Sir, your pants! Your pants have ripped! Oh no, he just got 100 times hotter. Just jackpot. Who's freaking out? It was silent, almost deafeningly so. I watched in pure shock as horns sprouted from his head, wings sprung from his back. His body swelled in size. His shirt had given way to his chest, growing, the garment splitting and falling to the floor between us. Along with it, his boots split into pieces, and in place were taloned feet. Before long, he just stood in his new form, towering over me, even more than he had before. Not only is him big, him is bigger. I sat in awe, paralyzed as I studied him, not sure what I felt, other than an ever-present feeling of sudden arousal. It only added to my ever-growing confusion. He looked terrified.
Are you all right?
Oh, I'm fine. That thing you're sensing, it is not fear.
Did I scare you?
I shook my head slowly. Not scared. I didn't say what I was feeling. Me and the MC, we understand. We understand each other. We're in sync. Because the reality wasn't something I felt I should be admitting to at that moment.
Do I look weird?
That's a funny way to say awesomely hot. I shook my head. By normal standards, sure, but to me, he was still the same alluring man. His presence had somehow reached a level I hadn't thought possible. He was more than a painting or a statue. He was in a league of his own. He was, by all definitions, a masterpiece. He's the kind of art that art would buy. It was many more moments before either one of us made a sound. Surprisingly, I was the first to break the silence, speaking a truth I'd denied myself before, in fear. A fear that didn't come natural to me, that had come from feeling rejected by everyone around me. Carrick hadn't, though, and so I spoke the truth, and I casted away my shock. You are the most beautiful being I've ever seen.
Oh, he's blushing so hard.
His face reddened at that. He smiled softly, unable to form a sentence, so I did it for him. Just, what are you, exactly?
Demon? That's what your people would call me. However, my experiences are mostly human. I eat, I sleep. I have fears and I have desires.
Tell me more about these desires.
But I am also only able to be when the sun is gone.
Oh, okay, so we're doing Disney's Gargoyle rules. All right. Is that why I never saw him during the day? He was nocturnal?
Those guardians built atop the cathedral. Those stone creatures. That's what I am during the day.
A gargoyle, you mean? He nodded.
The human word, yes.
Why show this form to me? I could have screamed or sent a mob after you. Why take that risk? The answer came to him easily, because he knew I wouldn't do that.
I knew you wouldn't.
Hey, stop predicting what I'm gonna say.
And I was right. More importantly, I showed you because it's something you must know, if you're to decide whether or not you want me to be yours.
I already said yes, sir. The more he spoke about the prospect of him being mine, it became ever so slightly real. By be yours, do you mean as a friend, or...
And he's like, Espoir, you read the tags of this game. You read the description of this game. You know what I mean.
I had to force the words out, the fear of rejection threatening to stop me. As a lover, I hated to even say it. If it was the former, how could I look at myself in the mirror? I'd have to break it more just to avoid that reality. I hated myself for feeling that way, after I had just decided to cast my fear aside. I suppose knowing the source didn't necessarily mean it solved the problem.
I've never thought of friends the way I think of you.
My heart swelled, my stomach fluttered. My palms sweat so much that my hands started to slip on the counter below me. I was made more aware of my body in his presence, as he stood dangerously close. His eyes were even more intense in this form, especially when he spoke such desires into existence. A shadow was cast over me by his sheer presence. The clock was ticking. He was waiting the answer he'd obsessed over. But could I give it to him? Or would my body speak for me, and I'd grow to regret my decision later? The truth of the matter was, I was already attracted to Carrick, but seeing this side of him only added to it. It was easy enough to say what he wanted to hear, when all I wanted was to feel the form that stood before me fleshed against my own, so much smaller in comparison, to know what he smelt like, felt like, tasted like. What would he taste like? Would he be like Dusty? Well, I mean, he uses a lot of, I assume, stone polish maybe on himself, but... I hadn't thought I was ever a prospect for someone like him, even more so now that I knew what he truly was. Even now, I still couldn't wrap my head around it. But I was practical. He was here before me saying his intentions. I could ask anything I wanted to know right now. I didn't need to wrap my head around it when I could explore him for myself. Like I had when I mixed ingredients in a potion, I had to see what worked. I had to run a shop for years to truly understand the intricacies that came with being a business owner. I had dug my hands into the earth in order to make sense of reality when it began to slip. Carrick, tell me, what is it about me, physically, that you're drawn to? His demeanor shifted, his smirk finally returning, as he leaned closer to me, still not quite touching.
Could I show you instead?
Show me? Should I? Or would I be doing myself harm? Enough. Thoughts don't belong here. They're paralyzing. They're counterintuitive in an experiment. Results first, then think it over later. Exactly. Practical. Now let's get that vitamin D. Please do. That was all the permission he needed. His hand rose, now easily double the size it was before. He! And I had almost lost my nerve. His hand hovered for a moment before his fingers found their way into my hair, pushing the strands behind my ear. Far more gentle than I thought possible of someone who looked like him.
Your hair.
He looked at me for a moment, for the first time able to see the subject of his desires so close. His hand moved to my cheek, a thumb tracing my cheekbone.
Your eyes.
The warmth of his palm, of his thumb, trailed its way down my face, only stopping when it reached my lips. That alone sent an electric shock through my mind.
And especially your lips.
He stood, watching me watch him as he slowly began parting them just enough so he could run his thumb across the length of my bottom lip. His expression changed from something adoring to something more sedated, his eyes practically dilating. We spoke plenty. Now it was time to act. I opened my mouth to trace my tongue along his thumb, wrapping my lips around it in order to properly taste it. What does it taste like? I must know! I practically drooled at the sensation. It tasted of nothing but my own saliva, and still I was already going lightheaded. I peeked out of one eye to see his expression. His eyes were glazed over as he watched me.
Why does that feel so good?
I couldn't answer him, nor would I. I was determined not to say another word unless it was screaming his name. Hot! That's a hot line. That's a good line. That's a hot line right there. I like that. That's a good line. I hoped he wouldn't lose his nerve. He'd said all the right things. Now to see if he could put it to action. How much had he envisioned this moment? I wanted to ask him all those things, but there would be a time to speak again. Luckily, he stood closer, removing his thumb from my mouth. A trail of spit hung between them for a second. He leaned in close. It was only when he stood before me that his nerves seemed to falter.
Can I kiss you?
Absolutely. Or perhaps not. He only looked like he had. He almost looked like a young man at that moment. Had he not known the touch of another? I only answered by bringing my hands to his face and pulling him into my hungry lips. Oh. There was one clear way to find out. Regardless of his history, I was experienced enough for the both of us. Perhaps I could train him into a suitable lover. That thought excited me. He groaned against me. His lips were warm and plump. It was uncomfortably slow as he kissed me so gently. It was wonderful, but wasn't enough. I gave him my tongue, which he met with his own deliciously. He had the makeup of a wonderful lover, if his kiss was anything to go off of. He'd definitely been kissed before, and I found it hard to imagine anyone getting to this point with him and not falling under his spell. He tasted like water from a fresh, cool spring. It had been so long since I'd been kissed, but I hadn't forgotten the basics. He'd gone slow enough that I had ample time to remember the little things that made men fall to their knees. I breathed into him, tangling my fingers into his long, silky hair. Our lips worked away at each other, moving between soft, loving kisses to famished tongues satiating the other. I moaned into his mouth as he started to untie the bindings of my dress. At least he didn't rip it off. Thank you for that. He's very respectable. I practically heard the celebratory sound of trumpets as he leisurely undid them without so much as even looking. His kissing hadn't suffered either. That theory of him never having been with any previous lovers before was eroding away with every passing minute. This guy might just be a professional. I melted into our kiss. His tongue danced with mine, exploring every corner of my mouth thoroughly. The sensation was equal parts plenty, and not enough. Carrick only broke away to move the dress off my shoulders and down to my waist. Studying my figure, I did what I could to not tense up, but he had no such reservations. "Carrick, please go easy on me. You're a very big man." He never said much. His blushing cheeks, hazy eyes, and dangerously sizable bulge were indicator enough. I'd always thought of myself as quite sturdy. It would have been an effort for the average individual to lift my toes off the ground, let alone hold me up as if I were a sack of flour rather than a full-grown woman. I felt incredibly delicate and free in his grasp.
Is this okay?
This is very okay.
I wanted to take this to your bedroom.
He. I touched his face, nodding.
Are you nervous?
I shook my head. A lie, but I wasn't giving in to any of that. I wasn't going to give him a single reason to deny me this.
I have tried to hold myself back, but once we get in there, I can't promise to only be a gentleman.
Don't worry about it.
It's gorgeous in here.
He was so sweet. I smiled.
You've been awfully quiet.
I breathed out a laugh. "I'm sorry. I worried if I talked too much, it would put a damper on this whole thing." He knitted his eyebrows together.
How exactly?
"I tend to ramble when I'm nervous, or apologize excessively. It's better I show you how I feel, rather than tell you. You can already tell, can't you? You can feel it in my soul."
I mean, I can, but I want to listen to anything you have to say. You can tell me anything.
I felt silly, almost guilty for doing so. I had overcorrected in fear of backing out. "I'm scared I'll give in to my defeatist... The void's gonna creep into my mind and tell me that all my friends hate me again. It's gonna tell me that I'm feeling old, that I'm getting old, but it's not true. I'm scared I'll give in to my defeatist thoughts again."
I understand, but it's you I desire. I knew the worst of what your soul had to say already. You're not going to scare me away so easily.
I suppose men I've been with in the past would get bothered by me speaking during such times. A dark look overtook his expression.
Those were boys you were with before. I told you before, hadn't I?
He's a man.
He smirked devilishly.
I am no boy.
A wave of relief and even more intense craving took over me. I would only be blessed so many times in my life, and if this were a demon here to prey on my weak will and drain me dry, then I'd have to let him. Nothing was going to keep me from making him mine, even if just for tonight. "I need these off, Carrick." I pointed to his pants.
Or what's left of them. What's left of them?
Oh.
Sweetly, he sat by my side, lifting my upper body into his arms and chest. Despite being made of stone, he felt plenty warm and human. He smelled of incense and salt. Oh yeah, 'cause he's hanging around a church. I bet he smells good. I looked up at him, puckering my lips. He captured them only a moment later. I broke the kiss, resting my eyes as I listened to his still racing heart. "You feel human.
You sound surprised.
Aren't you a stone creature?"
I have the capacity to become stone, just as I have the capacity to appear human. I am both. I didn't think you'd want to make love to marble.
I giggled, With the way I'd pleasured myself on his still figure before, I definitely wasn't opposed to the idea. He must have read my mind.
Whatever form you prefer, that's what I'll provide.
Such a gentleman. There was no other form I preferred more than this. Sure, the human form of Carrick was enough to entice a fantasy, but the way I felt about this form, and every aspect of it, I'd never long for a human man as long as I shall live.
Yeah, you kind of ruined it for everybody.
I'd sooner go to statues. At least they had the capacity to make me orgasm. I stared adoringly up at him, being whisked away by a peace I hadn't felt in ages. He pushed a strand of my hair back, admiring me as much as I had him.
You look tired. Don't stay up on my account.
Do you sleep?
Yes, just during the day. The remaining time, I keep watch. I'll be watching for the return of that drunkard.
My guardian.
I'd like to be. More than that, I'd like to be yours. In body and in soul. I know that I can't rush such things. I've had far more time than you. But I hope you'll consider it. Your life is, of course, your own, and I don't want to intrude on it.
Carrick, it's true I don't know what that truly entails for me. It sounds wonderful, as all fantasies do. But you're stoned for at least half of my life. I could never do with you what others do with their own partners. I don't long for children, and marriage has always been optional, but they are impossible with you.
You're not wrong. It's a lot to ask. I just know if I don't, I'll regret it all my life.
Do you not have other prospects?
You mean partners? I've had them. But when I move, I live a new life, under a new name. The men I was before are no longer me. The man that I am today belongs to you.
The man that I am today belongs to you. That's a line that's gonna get you pregnant, sir.
How long will that last? How long until you seek a new home and a new identity?
I don't know. But what I do know is that this is the longest I've been in one place for a century. Your presence, seeing you day in and day out. Your soul has kept me here. It's also caused me to question everything I know about mortal living. Most importantly, I believe that instead of seeking humans out for pleasure, I've found someone with whom I'd like to forge a bond with in soul. I always knew, however, that this was always a possibility. You may not need me in your life, but I'm afraid as things stand, I need you in mine, even if it's just as your friend or guardian.
My heart was tormented by straining and aching alike. He always had a way of speaking that resonated so deeply. The decision was still my own, but somehow that made it harder.
Don't make me choose, please.
He wasn't forcing his way into my life. He knew who I was and what my life consisted of, and wanted me anyway. I just wished he'd given me more than tonight to decide such a thing. If I knew you more, I would have the tools to make a more informed decision. To tell you with certainty what I want. Carrick nodded, understanding disparagingly, not having tried sooner.
I also needed time to decide I wanted to do this. I hadn't planned to today either, but once the opportunity presented itself, I threw caution to the wind.
Yeah, we kind of got the ball rolling there.
We've had a wonderful night. One I'm sure to never forget, no matter how many lives I live. I'm glad that you gave me the chance. I cannot ask any more of you than that. I can only hope that you'll give me more.
if we don't end up with this nice gargoyle man, if we don't create a hit Disney show together and end up together, I will cry.
But no matter what your answer is, I will not resent you. Your decisiveness, your honesty, and integrity are just a few of the many things I fell in love with.
In love? He's in love? With me?
I'm in love with you. I know you can't return that sentiment just yet, but I believe if you got to know me, you'd be able to fall in love with me too. So, what will it be?
You're gonna make me choose, aren't you? Ah, don't make me choose! Well, obviously I want to say, I want you to be mine, but can we share these nights together still?
To fall in love and have a relationship like you're asking, I think that's beyond my capabilities at present.
Carrick smiled sadly. Don't worry, Pookie, I'm just seeing what this ending looks like.
I assumed as much. It's as I said before, it's your choice. I can live with that.
But you're still going to be sad. I thank you for lifting my spirits, for bringing me comfort, and reminding me of a part of myself I had thought was lost.
I did little. Thank you for allowing me to indulge for a time.
Carrick, forgive me.
I'm just doing this to see what it looks like. I'm gonna go back and do the super happy ending.
If I asked to do this part again, would you be willing? Or have I asked for too much?
Carrick brought his hand down to my cheek.
I'll take any part of you I can get, even if it's in body alone.
Oh,
I am at your beck and call, as your partial lover, guardian, and friend.
I smiled, overtaken by the sentiment. I closed my eyes, relieved and comforted by him. I was thankful I could have this when I needed it.
Sleep well.
I drifted off into a wonderful, dreamless sleep. As I opened the shop the following day, I could feel Carrick's eyes on me as I worked. I was beaming beneath them, sweeping and humming a pleasant tune. All the way until the sun fell again. I longed to share another night full of chats and caressing. Carrick was at the door as soon as the sun had left. He continued to watch me as I closed, leaning against the counter with that familiar impish expression. We chatted idly about what he'd seen and questions of what I'd done, sharing stories, laughter, and flattering words. It became our everyday routine. He fit into my life perfectly. I knew to have the love of someone like him is something that could only have ever been achieved when I had one first for myself. This was my life, and I was grateful he wanted to be a part of it. But if he hadn't, that was okay too. To have been acknowledged for my hard work, loved from a distance, and worshipped in the heat of the night, those were the things I deserved. To be cared for, thought of in the same way I had for others.
I'm gonna cry.
If I'd continued to treat others in the way I wanted to, then that kind of love would find me, whether it be as a lover, a friend, or somewhere in between. I was happy to have him for as long as that lasted. If he decided he wanted to live a new life, free from me, I cared for him enough to let him have it. As long as he had the respect to come to me first about it, then I could ask for nothing more. And if he never left my side, always watched me, and left before the early morning sun, then I could ask for nothing more. No matter what was to happen from this moment onward, what we had was carved into my heart, like stone. The end.
But not yet, because we're going to go back and do that hopefully super happy ending. I want you to be mine, Pookie. Somehow. I don't know how we're going to do this, but we'll figure something out.
I want to be with you.
Carrick looked surprised, like he'd prepared me to say anything else.
Are you sure?
Very.
I nodded, stroking his cheek. And I don't regret it.
A glowing review.
He chuckled. I swatted his nose with my finger. You've surprised me. Brought out a side of myself I thought was lost.
I didn't do much. Just reminded you of who you already were. I'm glad I could help in any way I could.
I'm sure you are.
I'm at your beck and call whenever you want to feel better about yourself.
I smiled shyly.
So, we're lovers, then?
Yep, get used to it.
You won't have any more relations with boys?
And you won't with girls? He shook his head.
Absolutely not. I believe you've just ruined me for all other prospects forever.
Same. A tad dramatic, aren't we? He shook his head once more.
You are part of my being. I am no longer myself without you.
That's another banger line. I am no longer myself without you. That's a good line.
I hope, with time, I can become the same for you.
I believe I will. I don't think I'd have agreed to any of this if I didn't see potential.
Good. Very good.
He looked incredibly relieved.
I may not be here when you awake, but know that I will be here every night before you go to sleep.
He placed a gentle kiss to my forehead as I began to drift to sleep, comforted in his arms, comforted that he would return, that this wasn't just a single night's worth of excitement and comfort.
Sleep well, my love.
I drifted off into a wonderful, dreamless sleep. As I opened the shop the following day, I could feel Carrick's eyes on me as I worked. I was beaming beneath them, sweeping and humming a pleasant tune. Oh, is this pretty much the same? No matter what was to happen from this moment onward, what we had was carved into my heart, like stone. The end. That was beautiful. That was so beautiful. I love that so much. Absolutely glorious. Glorious art, wonderful writing, excellent voice acting. Excellent voice acting. Very good writing. Very good. And just a few days from now, it looks like this game might be getting an expansion. If you follow the link in the description to this game, you can also follow the developers, rate this game. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Boop. And you can get any more news on an expansion to Carved in Stone, as well as maybe follow their Patreon. That's adorable. I need to play a lot more monster lover games. This was lovely. This was absolutely lovely. And hey, if you would like to watch me play more amazing visual novels with monstrous desires, feel free to look around my channel. And don't forget to like, subscribe, or interact in any way that's comfortable for you. It really does help out my channel, and it gets us closer to 100,000 subscribers. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Take care of yourself, have a great night, and remember, there is always hope.